40 minutes until the aerial bombing of Undisclosed. I punched the air and cried, "God damn it, why are we such fuck-ups?" There were in fact 2 military trucks parked nearby, so he had that part right. No personnel in sight. Amy said, "Go back," John said. "No, we have to find a different door. That'll just take us back to the junkyard." John jogged toward the restaurant and went through an open, employees-only door. We followed him into an empty kitchen, stainless appliances and grease-tanned walls. It smelled like detergent and vaporized animal fat. We passed into a main dining area full of small, round tables. The building was silent. The restaurant closed. Probably had been since the outbreak. We could hear the soft drumming of rain on the roof. Along one wall was a bar lined with bottles and 2 big-screen TVs that would be showing some kind of sporting event if it wasn't early morning on a Monday during the apocalypse. The opposite wall was covered with a mural depicting a smiling cartoon buffalo eating a burger. "Oh, buffalo burger," John said, unnecessarily. We had all eaten here before. Yes, the burgers were made from buffalo meat, and we were apparently going to be incinerated here. "Find a door, John. Glass shattered. We all ducked, and there was a chubby, balding guy in his 50s on the sidewalk out front, wearing earmuffs. He had bashed in the glass front door with the butt of a shotgun. "Shit!" The guy ducked through the shattered glass and racked a shell into his shotgun. "Hey, we're unarmed! We're not infected!" The guy put the shotgun to his shoulder. He knew exactly who we were. We dove behind the bar. A shotgun blast shattered 3 bottles, bringing a rain of liquor and glass. Amy blindly stuck the fur gun up over the bar and squeezed the trigger. A small wheel of cheese landed softly on the bar and bounced to the floor. "God damn it, Amy! Lethal!" A shotgun blast punched the bar, flinging chunks of particle board between us. Amy raised the fur gun, squeezed her eyes in concentration, and fired. The gun honked. The air rippled. A huge black blur the size of a minivan flew through the air above us, a furry shape that bellowed with a sort of grunting moo. In the split second it was airborne, I somehow registered what the object was. A buffalo. And I mean a real buffalo, huge and furry and trailing a stink like wet dog. The buffalo hurtled toward the man, its dangling feet flailing as it soared through the air. It smashed into the bald guy, flinging him aside, then blew through the door behind him, wrenching it off its hinges. "Yeah!" screamed John triumphantly. That's what you get! That's what you get!" The buffalo turned on us. It snorted, belched, farted, sneezed. It charged back into the restaurant, loping across the floor tiles, each hoof landing with a sledgehammer impact that I could feel in my gut. Amy screamed. The beast blasted a swath of carnage to the dining room, tossing aside tables and chairs like they were doll furniture. We scrambled to our feet and tried to run. I made it out from the bar, then tripped over a chair and fell, taking Amy with me. She rolled over, leveled the fur gun at the beast, and fired. The buffalo recoiled, stopping in its tracks. It suddenly had a thick beard, streaked with gray, as big as a man's torso. "Run!" I don't remember who said it, but none of us needed to be told. We dodged and juked around tables, jumping over the unconscious bald guy, rounding the buffalo and heading for the street. It was trying to get turned around, knocking over 6 tables in the process. We flew through the smashed doorway, emerging onto a sidewalk downtown. Rain hammered the street, soaking our clothes. 2 seconds later, the buffalo blew through the door behind us, tearing off another foot of door frame on every side. We ran across the 4 lanes of street, looking for cover, or, better yet, a door. I turned to Amy and screamed, "Here! Give it to me!" I took the fur gun. I squeezed the trigger, and for a second, nothing happened. The beast charged, hoofs drumming across pavement. Then, out of nowhere, the buffalo was hit by a semi. The truck splattered buffalo guts 30 feet in every direction as it plowed through the screaming beast. It finally skidded to a stop, scraping half a ton of buffalo meat along the pavement and leaving a crimson skid mark of blood and entrails that stretched for a block and a half. We all stood and looked at this with disgust for a moment. Amy said, "Gross." John said, "Over here." He was running into the alley, toward a dumpster. He stood up on a crate, took a moment to gather his energies, and threw open the lid. "Boom! That's it! I see water tower, bitches!" John climbed in. I helped Amy up next. I stepped under the crate and looked down. I saw it. That is, instead of garbage, I saw open landscape, patches of wet green grass and mud puddles. It was dizzying, looking down and seeing the horizon at my feet. Rain was falling on the back of my neck, and falling perpendicular to that inside the universe of the dumpster. I threw my legs over and stepped through, and felt that roller coaster flutter in my guts as gravity changed, and I stumbled forward as the ground rushed up at me, smacking my palms. I was suddenly on my hands and knees in mud, cold rain pounding down my back. I got to my feet, soaked from head to toe, mud caked on my knees and shoes. I squinted through the pouring rain. Thunder rumbled overhead. The water tower was right in front of me. I looked around for the truck John described, and found it. A big, black semi-tractor trailer. Next to it was a black military troop transport. Next to it was a black Humvee. Next to it was another. Then about 3 dozen more. John said, "Oh, shit." The water tower construction project was now the home to the makeshift Reaper Command Center. Black military vehicles and mobile homes and tents stretched out as far as we could see. And, standing around us, were dozens and dozens of guys in black spacesuits, carrying assault rifles. All of them were currently screaming at us to drop our weapons and lay flat on the ground. A man strode up in a white spacesuit, carrying a helmet under one arm. His gray hair was still somehow perfectly combed, even under the bombardment of the rain. Dr. Tennant glanced at his watch and said, "I was starting to think you wouldn't make it."